Hey everyone, it's Chuck. We're back here outside the laboratory at the Chemours Discovery Hub today. I want to take you on a little show and tell because I've gotten a few specific questions on refrigerant cylinders. So let's head on into the lab and we'll have our discussion. So as you may be aware, under the new AIM regulations, the EPA in the US has called for a ban on disposable cylinders beginning January 1st, 2025. And a sell-through date, and that's the manufacturer or the filling or the import of those disposable cylinders. There's a sell-through date that's a couple years later. They're also proposing a QR code be put on the cylinders, and all this is to aim to help reduce illegal product from making its way into the supply chain here in the US. So let's take a look at some of the packages we have today, and I'll try to explain to you what, as best we can tell, what we're going to have going forward. So this is very typical of, a refrigerant cylinder. We call it a tall or a returnable. So we've always had these. These are nominally a 100-pound charge of refrigerant or 110 depending on the product. But you can see they're very tall. These are used when you're charging big systems, supermarket racks, in the valve there, liquid and vapor valve on the top. So no change to these. We got a few questions, all our typical products, XP40, XP10, 513A, 449A, the things you get today in these cylinders will still be available going forward. I'm going to move around here a little bit, and when we talk about disposables, this is really the products we're talking about and the packages. Typically you may get it in a box. A lot of people keep it in the box the whole time, just flip the box upside down. But these are nominally 35 pounds or 25 pounds of refrigerant, dependent again on the particular gas. We refer to these as, disposable or DACs, which is Disposacan. That's a term that was invented quite a few decades ago. But again, when it comes out of the package, this is kind of what it looks like. One valve. You can see it's has a pressure relief disc here, a rupture disc. So if this thing were to get overheated, overpressurized, for safety relief of that pressure, this disc here would rupture and would reduce the pressure down, and the refrigerant would escape. Also on here you can see we got a QR code. We've been doing this for a number of years with a hologram. That's more around brand protection and tracking, making sure you're getting legitimate refrigerant. But again, it's part of the EPA proposal. These type of QR codes are going to be on all the refrigerant cylinders in order for tracking purposes. Again, trying to defeat illegal imports, illegal product. So this is the proposal to do away with these things. One, for end-of-life recovery of end-of-heels that could be in here, and again, to keep out illegal product. So the proposal for refillable in this size will probably end up looking something like that. We don't have the exact cylinders, but if you take a look at this jug here on the floor, it's much closer to what we would use today for a reclaim cylinder. Again, there's liquid and vapor valves, hence the blue and red handles here. So we won't have to be flipping these jugs over if they come out in this configuration. Again, they'll have the QR code on there for tracking, and there'll be a different relief device. It'll be a reseatable valve, so if the thing would start to overpressurize, it would get too warm or build up pressure, essentially would burp, relieve the pressure, but then it would reseat, so the entire charge wouldn't come out of the cylinder, but just enough to relieve the pressure and reset. Again, that's an upgrade to the safety device. So if these will contain flammable refrigerants, as we think many of the A2L refrigerants will come in packages like this, it's probably going to have a red top or a red stripe around the top. Again, all those details are yet to be designed and agreed upon. And again, there is some legal challenges over all of these rules in general, so we'll wait and see how that goes. But these are a little beefier, a little more metal, a little heavier. That is a concern in the industry, particularly if you're carrying these things up and down ladders or on the rooftops. That's something the industry is working on. So again, just to recap, tall refillable cylinders, always had them, always will. Again, there are no changes there. Your typical 30-pounders, Disposacans, DACs, jugs, whatever you want to call them. Proposal is to eliminate those and to go something a little more heavy-duty or refillable cylinders. Again, it's obviously a big investment. There's going to be deposits, core charges on these returnable cylinders, much like there is on the talls today. Managing through all that, investing, getting a supply chain, getting a fleet of these up for the entire industry. A lot of work to happen over the next couple of years. Here at Chemours, we're prepared to support the industry and the regulations no matter which direction they go. So we'll work with all our supply chain people to make sure that you get your good quality Freon, good quality Opteon refrigerants that you know and are familiar with in a package that's convenient, safe, and helps overall the environmental impact of our industry. So thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate you coming in the lab with me today. I know it's a little noisy in here, but some things, pictures worth 1,000 words, so I figured I'd take you in here and show you what we know about cylinders. Again, the colors will be changing. That's a separate process from the AIM Act. The AIM Act and those rules are being refined, and we will stay tuned. Again, subscribe, hit the like button here so you can get all our updates, and we'll be bringing you more information on the packages of refrigerants along with the workings of the refrigerants themselves as they become available, and make sure everyone is up to speed and comfortable working with your refrigerants. Thanks so much for taking your time, and be safe out there. Have a great day.